and I'm going to ride around the top and beat these guys.
Wow, it'll be interesting. Gerhardt's certainly one of those guys who's had a number of different ways of pulling it off. Bobby Gerhardt in that Lucas Oil number 5, one of the cars we'll certainly be watching today. You see the pace car down low getting ready to go to pit road. The cars are lined up 2 by 2. Tom Hessert on the inside, Gus Dean on the outside, and keep an eye on John West Townley. Brand new sponsorship from Jive on that 05. That's going to be a car that's going to go out there fast.
Yeah, let's stay in line. Let's get some laps under our belt here and shake things out a little bit.
Getting ready as they come through the tri-oval. Remember, the start-finish line's in a different place at Talladega, but the green flag is out. We're underway, and Hessert gets a good start.
They were 3 wide already when we got just past the start-finish line.
We had group qualifying earlier today, and that meant that only 5 or 6 cars were on the racetrack at a time. These guys are all trying slingshot moves. If you can get a group of 3 or 4 together, you can really make some fast time and suck up to that group. So a lot of these guys who have only run a little bit of super speedway racing learned a lot today.
Look at those 2 black cars up top, 3 wide there. They're not making any ground up. That's Will Kimmel and Chase Briscoe. Both of those drivers told me that they were going to work together. He said, we really feel like teammates, even though they're from different teams.
Absolutely. Kimmel in that number 69 up on the high side. We saw Chase Briscoe in the 77. They're trying to get together back there and see if they can work their way. There's definitely room. Look at this on the left. Lots of room for a 3rd line if you want it.
Yeah, right now I think we want to stay in line. We saw Chase Briscoe, Will Kimmel try that 3rd line. It didn't work early on here. These guys are really doing a nice job just staying in line. There's Matt Krzyzewski right here in the 52 General Tire on board. You see him right behind Bobby Gerhardt, that 5 car. That's not a bad place to be, right around Bobby Gerhardt.
Phil, we had a big wreck at Daytona, but I have to tell you, it was some of the best racing I've ever seen from this division. We went 35 laps where they were 3 wide the whole time, and so far a really good start to this race.
That outside line really looked strong here early on. A lot of times at Daytona, we saw that inside line creep out ahead of the outside line. Gus Dean's able to hold that outside line right up there with Tom Hessert. Gus is in that 98 car.
See Andy Seiss there in that 02. He is tucked in right behind Shane Lee. Lee in that Lee boy number 32 with a really good qualifying effort. They were excited about that. One car going way up to the high side. Terry Jones in the number 30, and he is going to go 3 wide now.
Yeah, it looked like he had to avoid another car. He went to the high side. Another car darted out to the outside. He had to give us some extra room.
Gus Dean going up a little bit, rolling up to the high side, but we've got a big group of cars, 2 by 2, rolling down the back straightaway.
There's the 2 cars we were talking about earlier, the 69 of Will Kimmel, the 77 of Chase Briscoe. That 3rd line didn't work, so they may have decided just to go back there. They're going to be fast enough. Those are 2 fast cars, and just ride around there, put some laps in here to see what happens.
Not a bad idea. Chase Briscoe, a 2-time pole winner so far this season in our first 3 races of the year. That's some pretty good statistics for this young driver from Indiana.
Yeah, I was talking to Kerry Shear, one of the co-owners of that Cunningham Motorsports, and he's so high on Chase Briscoe. Such a nice young man. Really had a great opportunity to win Salem last time out, but ended up having a loose wheel, and then it actually shook the hub apart there with about 3 laps to go.
I can't tell you how many crew chiefs came up to me in the garage this weekend and said, we should have won Salem. We should have won Nashville.
Yeah.
How many of them could have won?
And that's what we talk about here. You know, people say anybody can win at Talladega. Ray, there's only 2 drivers in this field that have won at this racetrack.
Bobby Gerhardt, such an incredible resume when it comes to super speedway racing. Here's the 52 on board.
See John West Townley, that's the green, lime green car on the outside. Shane Lee, the 32, is on the outside of Krzyzewski with Bobby Gerhardt right there in front of him. Look at John West Townley side drafting Bobby Gerhardt. John West is in the 05.
Let's go back down to pit road, get an update on John West Townley. Check in with Caitlin.
Well, you guys were talking about the draft, and his team is encouraging now to keep working that side draft. And I spoke with John West before he stepped into that race car. He told me they brought the same car that they won at Daytona earlier this season. And he said that it's a very good race car. It does draft well. But he said with the threat of weather potentially moving into the area, it puts a little more urgency into their strategy to try and work their way up to the front of the field, guys.
Thank you, Caitlin. A little bit of contact there for John West Townley as he was coming through the tri-oval, and you see there right on the back wheel well.
He's got a tire mark there. You see him side drafting here.
Ooh.
That wasn't John West's fault. Looked like maybe Krzyzewski got in the back of Gerhardt. Bobby's car jumped to the outside. He made contact with Townley.
And how about this? Sean Corr running right in the group there in that number 48. Remember, at Daytona, they were bump drafting, and Sean Corr's battery came loose, and they had to go to the pits, lost a lot of laps, but they said that car's a winner. Gus Dean with a good run so far. He's up on the high side. Let's get an update from Jim Trado.
And Ray, the viewers may be wondering, why is this young man with so little experience, he lasted just a few laps in Daytona before being caught up in an accident, has very little time on a track this big. Why would he want to stay even with Tom Henstridge? The reason is he's got a really good race car, and as they're racing, he's also getting extremely involved with listening to his spotter intently. His spotter is Tyler Green, who spots on Sundays for Jamie McMurray. Tyler's saying, get closer to the side of that car, stay in line, make sure the 05 stays with you. All these coaching elements are all part of this driver development, if you will, for Gus Dean as he continues to ride side by side as different still on the pace lap in that blue car in second.
Gus Dean from Bluffton, South Carolina on the high side. Down to the bottom, it's Tom Hesser. We got a great race going here at Talladega. Back with more. We've got 6 laps complete.